the Rolex Explorer. Probably my favorite Rolex of all time. A watch that I would love to own one day. It's a watch that many of us watch enthusiasts love, want, and it got me thinking. £6,750. Not exactly a small amount of money. I certainly can't get one at the moment. As you all know, the subscribers I'm talking to, I've been a little bit naughty already this year, so I don't think the wife would be too happy if I went out there and bought a Rolex Explorer. But I think I've found the budget Rolex Explorer I've been looking for and waiting for. It's not from Seiko, it's not from Hamilton, it's from Christopher Ward. This is the C65 Sandhurst Series 2, and after spending some serious time with it, I think it might be it. But before I do get into it, let's talk about what makes the Explorer iconic. Why do we love the Explorer so much? Some people think it's a little boring, but I think the majority of us would say that the Explorer is a special watch. I think it's the clean, legible dial, the understated tool watch aesthetic, the tough enough for real world use, the historically military adjacent watch. It doesn't have a military background, but it certainly has a adventure background, which is why I think this C65 Sandhurst is a great alternative for a tool watch. And of course it has a Rolex name and build. But the issue, it's very expensive. £6,750, as I mentioned, is a lot of money. And if you are looking for an alternative, I do think that this C65 is a great option. Firstly, I want to say a big thank you to Christopher Ward and Andrew over at Christopher Ward for sending out this watch. I requested this watch. I'm not getting paid for this review. These are all my honest opinions and thoughts. But I saw this watch on the website and I thought, hang on a minute. I really like the look of it. And I do think not many people are talking about it. So I wanted to explore it a little bit more. So, enter the C65 Sandhurst Series 2, a field watch with real military credibility. It's officially approved by His Majesty's Armed Forces. Not many watches can boast that title. It's based on the Smiths W10 worn by the British soldiers in the 60s and 70s. Now let's go through the specs very, very quickly. 38mm stainless steel light catcher case with the Sellita SW200 COSC certified automatic movement. It's got a textured matte black dial with super luminova, screw down crown with sapphire crystal and 150 meters water resistance. Brushed and polished case that wears lower than its specs suggest. It wears beautifully. I've got it on right now. It comes with a micro adjustable Beta bracelet, which I don't currently have hands-on with, but I've heard great things about this bracelet. I think it looks the best on the bracelet, and that's where it reminded me of the Explorer with the steel bracelet. This watch looks beautiful also on the black and grey NATO strap. I wouldn't personally have it on this canvas strap that Christopher Ward have sent this on. It's decent, but I don't think it's the best choice for this particular watch. I think it's either the steel bracelet or the NATO, as I mentioned. I think they look beautiful. I think the watch looks beautiful on both of those particular choices. I think it wears like a dream. Slim, classic, and field ready. Explorer energy through and through. And this is why I talk about the Explorer being a military adjacent watch. Not many of us are going to go to war. We want a watch that is tough as nails. That's a watch that you can wear and you don't worry too much about it getting banged and dinged. The Rolex is that watch. The Explorer is that watch. And I think that this C65 is also built to be that watch. Let's talk about the movement and build quality, because when we're talking about tool and adventure watches, I think this is probably the most important thing. You're getting a COSC certified Sellita movement, tested across temperatures and positions. 38 hours power reserve, nothing too amazing there. It's got an anti-shock system and even some rotor decoration. Now this is serious value for around the £1,000 mark, and we know this from Christopher Ward. They give you serious value for the money. I think the build quality punches way above its price class. The dial detail, the finishing on the case, and also the bracelet, as I mentioned, I don't have it at hand, but I've heard great things about it. It's all dialed in. Now let's do a little Rolex Explorer versus the C65 Sandhurst. Now, is it the Rolex Explorer? No, it's not. You're not getting the Rolex Flex, the 904 Al steel, the movement pedigree, but what are you getting with this particular C65 Sandhurst? You're getting similar proportions, similar visual language, better legibility in some ways. I think the numerals, the way they're printed, the loom on this watch, wow. Let's take a second to appreciate the loom. It's so fit for purpose. It's got the military credibility that the Explorer doesn't have. Something so unique, I think, that you don't get to see often on watches. It's got no waitlist, and it doesn't have a £7,000 price tag. You could save yourself £6,000 and get a watch that ticks many of the boxes the Rolex Explorer does. I really feel that this Christopher Ward is probably the most underrated Christopher Ward. A lot of people talk about the Dune range, a lot of people talk about the 12, a lot of people talk about their Haute horology recently, and rightly so. But sometimes there's something beautiful about a military watch. I know what you're thinking. There's other watches out there like the Hamilton Khaki, which I personally love. I know many people with that watch, and rightfully so. It's a great looking watch, but when it comes to finishing, when it comes to build quality, I think Christopher Ward is slightly above. For £1,000, you're getting a hell of a watch. I think with the C65, you're wearing something that has its own story, credibility, heritage, and doesn't try to be a fake by being something else. Quite clearly inspired by the Smiths W10, as I've mentioned already. This watch doesn't just fill a gap, I think it creates a new one. I think the Sandhurst Series 2 is what happens when a micro brand like Christopher Ward matures. It's not gimmicky, it's not oversized, it's not trying to ride trends. It's just a well-executed field watch with heritage and with substance. And frankly, in 2025, that's rare to find. Final thoughts. I think it's worth looking at. If you're hunting for an Explorer style, military style watch that doesn't come with a premium price tag, look no further. I think this particular watch has the DNA, has the movement, has the looks to be a legit contender in that £1,000 field watch, Explorer-like market. I'll leave a link below for the watch. It's not sponsored, as I mentioned before, but thank you for Christopher Ward for supporting the channel by sending out watches. I genuinely believe that this is one of the best value propositions in the market right now. Let me know if you're a fan of any other watches, Explorer alternatives, and let me know down in the comments if you'd wear this one over the real thing. If you've made it to the end of the video, as usual, I'm extremely grateful to every single one of you. There you have it, the C65 Sandhurst Series 2. Let me know what you think about this watch in the comments. I've been Jag from Jags Watches, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.